Welcome back. For today's Saturday video, I think we should do something that I've been putting off, and that is looking over the family tree. I don't know why. I'm just like so obsessed with this family right now. I'm so excited that all of our teenagers are like right in the middle of their stories, and I just can't get enough of it. So I'm also still working on trying to fix that other save file. I don't really know what's going on with it. But I figured that we could do something like this in the meantime. This is just, like I said, Saturdays are free days for me. So whatever I feel like doing at the moment that I have to record a Saturday video, that's what we're going to do. So let's start at the top here. um, oh my gosh, there's so many people here. I don't even remember what his name was, to be completely honest with you. Our first sim, what was his name? Um, It wasn't him. Okay, here we are. Here we are. This is the beginning. So what I needed to do is here in my spreadsheet. Okay, right now. Okay, honestly, Vlad could not matter any less. But the Larkin family is yellow. Yeah, we have 4 boys right now. The land grabs are white. Actually, let me do this really quick first. Okay, so the land grabs are white, and they have, how many kids do they have? It's Randolph, right? Randolph is all done having kids. He has 2 sons, so let's call it 2. Actually, you know what? Let's call this 3. Actually, it's really 2 because um what's it called? It's really 2 because Tobias rolled not to have any children. Okay, the Townie families, let's not count them. That's unnecessary. And then the Goths are still 1. Okay, so what I wanted to do was we have our family tree here, and I haven't updated it in forever. So I figured we could update it together, and not only update it together, but be looking at, you know, the tree and look at what was going on with it and all that fun stuff. So let's start with the very beginning. Bennett. I already forget. How did I already forget that? Okay, so it was Hugo. Oh my gosh, remember all our Hugos? Hugo. Oh my gosh, born in 1267. Do you remember that? Okay, so we started. Why are you doing this? Stop. Um, we started off with Lord Hugo Bennett. I have since stopped writing in their biographies because we're doing like the recaps and stuff. But yeah, Lord and Lady Bennett, Hugo and Estrid Bennett were our starting parent Sims. They had 3 children, all of whom had children, so they're all good. I X out of the ones who didn't have any children. So in generation 1, their 3 children, we started with Milo Ashdown. So what happened was I believe they should be over here. Way over here. Way over here. Oh my gosh. Um, so Alice was our main sim. She was our matriarch, our initial sim, and she married Milo. Now her and Milo, oh my gosh, how far spread out is this going to make me go? Okay, so they had Matilda, who didn't have any kids. Okay, yes. Okay, and then they had Agnes. Oh my gosh, do you remember that? They had 2 kids. We only had 1 surviving child. Right at the beginning, we only had 1 survivor. That was wild that she actually survived. Like, do you remember that? We were so worried that she was going to die. Okay, so Agnes. Okay, and then Agnes did have children. Also, we're going to go by generation, so we're not going to follow Agnes right this second. So, Hugo Bennett, who was Alice's older brother, Hugo, I'm just going to go like this to find him. He got married twice because his first wife died. So his first wife was Genevieve. Oh, okay. So him and Genevieve, I'm remembering this now too. So him and Genevieve, she was like the first daughter of a lord, but her stepmother had like pushed her out or something. Or was she? What was it? Oh, she was illegitimate. Okay, so she was illegitimate, but Hugo ended up convincing her father to make her legitimate so that they could get married because he wanted to marry her. He fell in love with her. Where are the children? This family tree. Okay, so it looks like they had 2 babies that died. 1, 2. Then so many children. Okay, then there was Margaret, who we loved Margaret. Oh my gosh, I remember Margaret. She was like the epitome of high class woman. She was so much fun to play with. I was like, she was one of my favorite at the time, Margaret. Okay, and she did have children. So she wouldn't get X'd out. Then we have Hugo the third. Okay, honestly, the Hugos had such bad luck. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this or if you've been watching since the beginning, but the Hugos had such bad luck. Like, several of them had to have multiple wives, all of whom kept dying. It was like so rough for the Hugos. Like, I think that this Hugo had like 3 wives or something. So here he is. Actually, if I click on him, will I get all his siblings? Yeah, okay, we should do that in the future. So here was him, and he did have children. I remember him having lots of children. And then William was his brother. William's family tree ended pretty abruptly, but William did have kids. Okay, Isabella did not have kids. Okay, so she's X'd out. That's good. And then we have the rest of them all X'd out as well. Really? Isabella, unnamed, Emma, Richard. Yeah, oh my gosh. So he had some bad luck with his first wife. And then he actually remarried to Maybelle. So it's actually kind of funny because him and Mabel were like initially engaged to each other, but she found someone else, he found someone else, and then after both of their spouses dies, they came back together. And you know what? Let's just look for the first child here. So Maggie is. I'm not going to run around this family tree. So, oh yeah, her family line didn't end very well, but she did have children, so she can stay. Her and her brother Robert, who did have a child as well. Okay. And then it looks like Roger was the only one. Then they had a baby that didn't survive, and then Roger, who did have children. Okay. So that was Hugo. And then we had who married Caleb Vittor. She was initially a nun, and then I had her get together with a vampire because I obviously have great taste. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Okay, so it looks like Cecilia was a no. I think I do have all of these, but we're going to go over them together just because it's fun. Cecilia was a no. I think I have until like, yeah, down in generation 6. Okay, Henry did have children. Estrid. Where are we going with this? Why this big line? Okay, Estrid did not have children, but she did get married. Hmm. I feel like she shouldn't be crossed off if she got married. If they get another row, then they shouldn't be crossed off just because she didn't have any children. She still got married. And then Ella also got married. Agnes. Wait, this is Alice. Where's Agnes? What? What just happened here? Agnes Couture. Here she is. Okay, she got married as well. Oh my gosh, so she got married to the guy who like ran away from his family. Screw that guy. And then Alice did get married. And then Caleb got married, but Florian did not. And then we had Regina, the vampire queen. She was excellent, and I'm sad that none of her children survived because she was amazing. Okay, so that was generation 1. In generation 2, with our main family, we had Agnes got married to Eric Leifson, who was like a former pirate turned knight. So that was super cool. And they had a few kids, I think. I think that they had plenty of children. Oh my gosh, this family tree. Let's start with Milo. Oh yeah, I remember Milo. I spelled Milo wrong. I still spelled Milo wrong. What is happening? No, not Milosh, Milo. Okay, so Milo was not their eldest. They actually had. I've got to like click on a kid that didn't have any. No, it still makes me go along this big line. Okay, so unnamed. Milo is a yes. Alice, unnamed. And then Bjorn is a yes. Milo. Bjorn is a yes. He was gay. Oh, Revna, who got pregnant with a priest's child and then passed it off as Dante's. Good for you, Revna. And then Tora, who got married to a guy who to be a stepmother and then killed him and then ended up having to go to a nunnery because she killed her husband. So that was a yes for her. Uh, let's see. Tora, an unnamed baby, Tove, Randy. Okay, none of these people got married, but I think Randy died in like a plague. Margaret did. She married into the Tora family. Okay. Oops. I didn't mean to click on that. Okay. Okay, so Margaret, our Margaret, who we loved, Margaret. She was initially married to um, this jerk, Lord Harlow, and they only had Elric and Wyatt. Huh. Did I put Elric somewhere else? Okay, I guess I didn't, but where would Revna have gone? Right here. Okay, so Agnes, let me make a note that Agnes was Elric's child. Because I like to make a note of when it's not actually their child. Okay, but neither of her children with Lord Harlow ended up having kids, I believe. I mean, he did, but he denied it. He denied that that was his child, so it doesn't count. Ooh, okay. I hate this family tree all of a sudden. Okay, what about Wyatt? Let's look him up. Wyatt Harlow. Okay, didn't survive very long. Okay, so neither of those. And then because of that, he left her for his like mistress, and this whole thing happened. Then yes, Hugo had 3 wives. Oh my gosh, Hugo. Okay, so Hugo initially married Rohesia and had Etheldred. So she was his first wife. Oops. Etheldred was their daughter. And unfortunately, okay, it looks like she did get married, but he didn't have any sons, right? So Etheldred is fine. So then after Rohesia died, I think she died in like childbirth. I think they all died in childbirth. Then he had, then he married Wilmot, and they had Male. Let me go to Male. Male, yeah, so here's Wilmot. They had Male, who did get married, and then Hugo the Fourth was born. So Hugo the Fourth was born. That was good. The Hugo name lived on. Wilmot died, and then he married Di, and they had Genevieve. So, shoot, what was her? Is this her? Yeah. Okay. So this is Genevieve, who ended up marrying one of the Harlows. So yes. Okay. She survived. So many wives for him. The Hugos did not have good luck. Anyway, so then we had William, who was Hugo's brother, and him and Madalena got married in Italy, and they had William II as their son. Okay, they had 3 kids, only one of them survived, so it looks like William should be the only one who did survive to get married. He married this awful person who ratted out one of our Sims to the government or whatever. Anyway, Margaret abandoned her husband once he like got rid of her to have more sons, and she ended up marrying Agnes's brother-in-law, I believe. So they got married, and so she brought her son, who had survived and become a priest, with her. So yeah, he didn't have any more kids. So then from our second marriage to Hugo II, looks like Maggie married Roland Dubois. Actually, I remember them. None of their kids survived. Roland Yeah, none of their kids survived. Not a single one survived to get married. That was such a bummer. So X out on all those kids. Yep. Okay, and then Robert Bennett actually married so Margaret's husband's mistress. Then after her husband died, came and married Robert Bennett. I mean, what a betrayal from your brother, right? Awful. Anyway, yeah, it wasn't you. It was and he was a ghost baby because I had killed her and didn't realize she was like pregnant or something. And then after she was dead, I got a notification that the baby was born and I was like, "What?" So that was really weird. And then Roger married Matilda. Estrid, is this her? Okay. Nope, that's mom. Nope. Yes. Yeah, okay. Roger married Matilda. Were these kids his? Yeah. Someone had kids that weren't theirs. Okay, so let's see. Estrid, unnamed, Estrid. Okay, unnamed, Roger died. Okay, so Estrid should be the only child that survived to have children. That's such a bummer. Like, so many of these families just were so unlucky. But Christiana luckily had many vampire children. So let's go to her first child, Henry. So Henry Vitor was her first child. He married Margaret, who was our main household, Agnes's daughter, Margaret, not the other Margaret. Um, oh, it looks like they were kind of unlucky here. Let's see. So Henry did get married. None of these kids got married. Wow. Okay, so Henry and who else? Gracia got married. That's two. And then Charles got married. Okay, so only 3 of their kids got married. So Henry, Gracia, and Charles. Yep. Okay. Oh, it looks like he remarried, probably because she was human and he was a vampire, so he lasted a long time, to Maud, and they had, let's go see Eleanor Vitor. Oh yeah, she married well. I remember that. He had so many wives, this guy. Yeah, so Henry then married Maud, and okay, so Eleanor was able to have kids. Who else? Oh my gosh, look at all these lines. Okay, Eleanor and anyone else? Oh my gosh, no one else? Just Eleanor was able to have kids. Anyone else here? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow, so unlucky everybody was. Um, then we have okay, Alice Vitor was the next Vitor child to get married. She actually married Eric Leifson, who, after trying to hide his like nephew affair baby from the Lord, was being hunted down by the knights. So he ended up running away and then ended up with Alice. So they had Clarice. Okay. So, okay, and also Austin they weren't related. He was a stepson. So don't be scared about that. So Alice and Eric only had 2 children. So Clarice was the only one who ended up getting married. And then Caleb the Vitor II did have Caleb Vitor III. Why is like the L not working on this? Oh, hold on. He had Caleb Vitor III. Oh my gosh, him and Jillian had so many kids. I remember now. What a trip down memory lane, you guys. Okay. Who was able to have kids out of your kids? Okay, okay, so Caleb. Oh, Hildegard was supposed to end up with one of our Sims, and then she died as a child, and I was so bummed about it. Okay, so Caleb, Dante. Those are the only 2. Okay, Caleb and Dante. Caleb. Dante. Yeah, oh my gosh. They had so many kids, only 2? Okay, then Agnes Vitor. Let's look up Ivo Vitor. So Benedict was the son of like a Hugo. But he was okay, so this Hugo, we should probably get into this later. But anyway, this Hugo his wife didn't bear him any sons. So he had an affair with one of our Sim's wives, and they had an affair baby. And then he took the baby in because he wanted a son. And then they found out that he was illegitimate, and there was this whole thing. And it looks like none of her children with him had kids. Okay. All right. Then we had Queen Regina, my fave, the light of my life. None of her kids survived. I remember that. You don't have to tell me that. It was so sad. She ended up being burned at the stake for murder. But she was stronger than Vlad. She was so much cooler than everybody else. We lived with her for a while after everyone died. Anyway, looks like Ella. Okay, yeah, Ella Vitor. So at the time when I was doing vampires, if you were marrying a Vitor and they were a vampire, you would take their last name. If you didn't take their last name, like only the people who were humans didn't take, like, she was a vampire, so she kept her last name and her husband's had to keep her last name. Salvia was the only one who had kids, although it doesn't look like it went well. Oh wait, she's way down here again. Okay, well, we don't have to come back to her. Anyway, why was she in, I guess, because we're going by the man's generation. That's why it says generation 3. So that's all of generation 2. Whew, what generation are we on? Like 10? Oh my gosh. Anyway, generation 3, we had the Walters. Oh my gosh, I love the Walters. It was always like the Walters were such a case where it was always like the second son had to inherit everything. Like, it was always the second son. So let's look up Morris, Walter. If I had been making this family tree the way I'm making it now, we would have had like the whole Walter family in here, but we couldn't. So anyway, yes, Morris and Harry both got married, but Morris ruled not to have any children. So actually, Harry then had a kid that then married into our main household. That's when we became the color yellow. Was the Walter family was the color yellow, and then we married into them. So that's when we finally got the color yellow. In our main household, our eldest son, Milo, married Cecilia. So Milo, no, I don't want that Milo. I want this Milo. Married Cecilia. And Cecilia was like, I think she was like a runaway. Yeah, she ran away after killing a guy who like attacked her. And um, she was the one who William's son married and then ratted her out to the knights because that was that woman's father or whatever. So him, Milo and Cecilia, looks like only Nicole out of their children. So Nicole did get married to Joan, who we were just talking about, who had the affair baby with the Lord. Okay, yeah, none of their kids made it. So Milo anyway got remarried to Dorothea, and Dorothea, hold on. Dorothea, she already had a son. That was the stepson that I was telling you about. Okay, so Dorothea, so Hector was the stepson. He did get married. And then Milo, Eric, Isabella, are those all of them? Milo, Eric, Isabella, yeah. And then, yeah, she had, I added him in, right? It was Hector, right? I didn't mean to click on that. This Hector, yeah. Yeah, Dorothea's son, Hector, who did get married. Okay. Where was I? Okay, back to the Harlow family. Molly got married, Molly Bennett got married to Hugh Harlow, who was he the, he must have been Hugh Harlow the second. Why didn't I write that in? Because Hugh Harlow was the guy who left Margaret because she wasn't having sons for him. So let's look up Mabel Harlow. So yes, here he is, Lord Harlow. He married Molly. Mabel did get married and have kids. And so did their son. See, you can have 2 kids and get really lucky and both of them get married and have kids. Or you can have 100 kids and all of them die. So I don't know. Anyway, William and Beatrice then had Joan. I remember, so Joan is the one we were talking about who had the affair baby, and she actually married into our main household. She married our eldest son, Nicole. And, well, where was I going with this? Yeah, so Beatrice and William had Joan, and then none of their other kids, I believe, were able to have kids. Yeah, they both died. Okay. And then Dante and Revna. Okay, so Agnes. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, so Agnes, who didn't know that she was really Elric's child. Um, she was raised as Dante's, and she did get married to our stepbrother. And then Dante and Revna had their own son, but unfortunately, he did not survive for very long. I think that was the end of the big family. So yeah. Then Hugo the Fourth married Keenborough. Oh, I remember her. She had red hair. Looks, and they had, yeah, okay, so Keenborough. Her and Hugo, they had only a couple of children. We that was the initial Lord Bennett. So this was Hugo the Fifth. So he did get married and everything, but his children didn't survive, which is how we went then to Bate, who ended up having the affair baby with Joan. So everything was connected. Honestly, when my population gets too big, I start marrying my Sims to each other instead of bringing in new families. So that's kind of what happened here. So I was trying to cut down the population, but yeah, so there was some intermarrying. Yeah, okay, one of them became a priest, so it was just Bate, because then Bate inherited the lordship and had that whole thing going on with Joan. So Bate and Hugo. Then in the Harlow household, Call Harlow married Genevieve. It looks like they had a daughter, also Genevieve. Is that not how you spell Genevieve? Genevieve. Is this her? Yeah, they had one kid. It was Genevieve. She did get married. I think that was the beginning of the Payne family, you guys. You guys remember the Payne family. That was the very first Payne guy. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then Judd, Rowena, I know she got married. She was the stepdaughter of Tora. She ended up getting married to um maybe one of the prominent families. I forget who. Was it like a Harlow or something? I don't know, but we'll come back to her. But yes, I know she got married. Bjorn and Berger, they were fine. They didn't have any kids, so there's no one to cross off. Then we talked about Milo and Dorothea. Yeah, with their 3 kids that survived it. Okay, and then Robert Bennett II. We still have the Bennetts. They're still alive at this time. So Clement. Oh yeah, so remember earlier when I was telling you that someone had like all affair babies? So um, Robert Bennett rolled not to have children. So his wife Marguerite actually was having children with her like butler. So that's how this happened. It looks like Clement is the only one who survived. Yeah, let's see. But the kids didn't know that wasn't their father. It later became a problem because when it found out, they lost like their status as Bennets because at the time the Bennets were the lords and ladies um, of Henford on Bagley. So back in the Vautour family, we have Mabel and Henry. Yeah, looks like, let's see. Oh my gosh, was Evelina the only kid who had kids? I remember Evelina. I loved her. Well, I loved her husband, but okay. So one kid had kids, and then yeah, none of the other ones had kids. Okay, what about? Oh, Millicent. Okay, I know that Charles was the only one who survived because Millicent, um, her husband was killed. She was actually the one when Alexander and Cecilia died, she was the one who was taking care of our heir, the only heir we had. And then her husband got killed for being a vampire, and so they had to run away to Forgotten Hollow and live with Regina, and that was that whole thing. So Charles Vitor II did end up getting married. He had an affair. We'll come back to that. But yeah, Millicent was awesome. I loved playing with Millicent. But yes, Bartholomew did not, survive. Okay. And then Caleb Vitor III married Ella Vitor, and they had Salvia. We already saw them, actually, yeah. So we saw Salvia. And then the Armstrongs were the new family that were taking over from the Bennets. So basically, Bate here, who had his affair baby, trying to pass him off as the Lord, whatever. The Armstrongs kind of came in, outed the whole situation, and took the lordship. So that was when the Armstrongs then became the Lord and Lady of this situation. And Gilbert had so many wives. That guy had so many wives because they kept dying. They kept dying. So let me go to Honora. Oh, good for her. She married really well, but didn't have any kids. Okay, so yes, she had one sibling. Oh, okay, so Eleanor was a vampire, and Gilbert ended up, um, Gilbert's father is the one who outed the Bennets. Gilbert, he had an older brother too, who didn't survive, and that's why he became the Lord, and he, fell in love with Eleanor despite her being a vampire and the bad relationship at the time between vampires and everyone. And he fell in love with her. He helped cure her of vampirism so they could be together, but then she died, which was really sad. Very sad. And then, how do I spell Adelaide? Um, Not her. Yes. Okay. So, and then so Rose and Dante? Yeah, Dante and Rose had Adelaide, who later married into our family. She married Thomas. Um, yeah, she was the one who did the nectar making business and like really brought us up to wealthy family and all that stuff. Like she was the real MVP of that scenario. But anyway, Adelaide, yes, looks like she was their only child that was able to have children. And then in the Axtell family, so Rowena, who we already talked about, they had one child. So that was also Mabel Axtell. Is this her? Yeah, okay. She did get married. She used to be married to one of our Sims, but when they couldn't have children, she left him and got married into the Vittora family. Then we have Agnes, who married our stepbrother. Agnes. This Agnes. And yeah, they had one kid and he did not survive, so looks like he got remarried though. Anyway, Morris and Estrid did not have any children, and then Harry and Estrid did have two children. Lettuce. If you watch Morbid's things, then you know that Lettuce never survives. So yes, Lettuce, and then her brother Alexandra, who married into our main household. Okay, then the Trimbolis entered the scene. Loved the Trimbolis. I cannot believe how many families have died out, you guys. Okay, let's look up the Trimbolis. Is this video going to be super long? Okay, Mabel Harlow married Benchi Trimboli. He was super rich. They were the color green. Looks like their daughter Jillian got married. We already saw Jillian because she married into the Vittora family. Benchi got married twice, it looks like. Oh, yeah, I remember Gracia. I loved her. Okay, and then Agatha did not get married, so yes. Then in our main household, like I said, we married Joan, and she was a hot mess. Nicole did die, though, so it was kind of tough. Anyway, Cecilia became our heir because she did not have any brothers. So Cecilia did get married. And then her little sister, she had two little sisters. Nicolette, who was a hot mess, loved her. And then Millicent. Okay, so all 3 daughters got married, and we know that Benedict Leifson was taken by the Bate family, and then that's why Eric Leifson had to run away to Forgotten Hollow and get married. Okay, then Hugo the Fifth. Oh, that was the end of Hugo's. Yes, that was the end of the Hugos because Hugo the Fifth did not have any children. He married Ellen. They had 2 kids, but they did not survive. It was very unfortunate. Back in the Harlow family, the Hughes also ended there. Hugh Harlow. Oh, well, there's a problem because you should probably be the 3rd. Nice check in the family tree here. Their children did not survive. That was the end of the Hughes as well. Hector then remarried to Anne. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the reason that Joan's life was so messy was because her husband, Nicole, had an affair with his sister-in-law, and they had some affair babies. And oh my gosh, their marriage was so messy, you guys. Jonah actually ended up dying by like getting drunk and getting hit by like a horse. So they were a hot mess. So yes, okay, so Austin, and then I think Juliana and Luke were the ones who were the affair babies. Christiana, that's 3. Okay, so 3 of them got married. Oh, she had to marry like some old man that stunk for her. So Austin, Juliana, and Christiana. Oh yeah, because Luke was potentially going to be our heir because we kept losing people. But then he also died at war. Okay. Then if we go back to the Bennets, because now they are living, but they are... Okay, I think at this time they were still rich and stuff. This was before they were outed. When Bate was having his daughters. Yeah, because he only had daughters, and that's why he brought in Benedict. But okay, so we know about Benedict. Okay, so him and Winifred had Sybil, and she got married. And then, is this video even any good? Like, do you understand with all my running around everywhere mod? And then, okay, so just 2. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, and then Genevieve Payne married Arnold Payne, and they had Vincent. The Payne family did such a good job at surviving with like only 1 son at a time. They really did. So this was the first Payne, and they only had 1 son, and somehow the Payne family lasted for so long. Okay, so that's 1 child, and then, yeah, so only the 1. And then Mabel and Milo did not have any children. Oh yeah, okay, so they didn't have any children. So Mabel was an orphan because her parents had died when she was young. And so she lived in the orphanage with Milo, and they fell in love. And then I said earlier Eric, but it was really Milo. So anyway, they fell in love, but they couldn't have any kids. And then her relative came and found her and then got her like a good marriage. So that's what happened there. She left him. Okay, Clement, who was the affair baby that didn't know he was an affair baby. Gerard. Okay. Clement had Gerard and Ellis, Wybert, and Swan. Gerard, Ellis, Swan, Wybert. Okay. And then it looks like Evelina did not have any children that survived. Is that true, Evelina? It is. Okay, and then Ganora Vitor married Charles Vitor II. Looks like he had to get married a couple times. Although it only makes sense because the vampires obviously had to marry multiple times. Oh, I remember her. I loved her. Oh my gosh, and I loved Charles. Okay, so Charles and her didn't have any kids that survived. Neither did any of his kids with his... He was working for them. the Marquis family and had some children with with the Marquis' wife. Yeah, so she was his paramour, and they had 2 children, both of whom survived, but the title of the Devereux family had to immediately go back to the crown because they all died. Okay, and then Salvia didn't have any children survive. Let me know if you've watched this from the beginning, like this series. Do you remember all these Sims? Yes, neither of the Devereux had kids. Okay, generation 5. We're about halfway there now. I feel like time is both moving quickly and slowly. Like, I feel like our generations are going slowly, but the years are just flying by, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Okay, the Benchies were on number 3. Benchies Trimboli, third, which apparently is the last one. Oh, yeah, they didn't have any kids. So 1 child, 2 children who got married, 3 children who got married. Oh, this guy who had like 50 million wives. 4 children who got married. Oh, yeah, they married, he married like a Chinese woman. That was fun. 5. Was that 5 now? I lost count. Benchy, Sarah, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. And then in our main household, Cecilia and Alexander, who had grown up together in the orphanage, got married. And you guys, once again, we only had 1 child survive, and it was a girl. So yes, she's the only one who got married. Oh my gosh, Emmeline, do you remember her? She was a hot mess. She literally had babies with everybody. Good for her. Yeah, I think that she was the only one. Yep, look at all of those babies that died. And then like, so right before Emmeline was born, her father Alexander died like for his birthday roll. And then immediately when she was born, her mother died in childbirth. That was the most unlucky thing to ever happen to us. That's when she had to go live with Aunt Millicent. Okay, back in the Leifson family, because we weren't Leifsons anymore. Austin and Nicolette got married. Nicolette was such a hot mess too. I loved her. You can see a trend on which Sims I like the best. 2, 1, 2. And then Austin married Clarice, I guess, after Nicolette died. And they had 2 kids, and only one of them survived. Yep. Okay. Then the Dutton family was born. They didn't really last as long as they could have. Wasn't that her name, Juliana? Why didn't I change her name? What? Hold on. You were a Bennett and a Leifson, but you married into the Dutton family. Okay, she married Jensen. Let's see which of their kids survived. Wee. Okay, maybe I'll just click on some of these kids so I can get a shorter. Yeah, okay, so nope. Yes on Giles. Nope. Yes on Ansel. No, no. Okay, so just Giles and Ansel. Giles, Ansel. Great. Back in the Bennett family, so this is where Benedict went wrong. So Benedict was the only boy in his family, and then Gerard, Wybert, and Zuan were the children of Clement, who was the affair baby. So they already weren't Bennets for realsies, but Benedict was, even though he was still an affair baby. And he married Felice before he was ousted from being the Lord. So they were Lord and Lady at first, and their son ended up trying to get the lordship back but failed. So neither of their children survived. He just left his family and was a total jerk. Back in the Axtell family, we had to marry an old man, which was unfortunate for her. Looks like Joffrey got married. Anyone else? Gonora. They were twins. Yes. Okay. No, they weren't. Maybe they were triplets. I can't remember. In the Payne family, only Frost survived. Once again, the Payne family only had like 1 child that survived and somehow still persisted. So there's Frost. In the Bennett side family, we had Wolfram. Okay. The Bennett side family, we had two marriages. 1, 2. In the Trimboli family with the Benchies, look up, I guess, Winifred. Looks like she survived. Okay, Benchy had no... Okay, Winifred survived, and then... Why does it do this? Like, just show me the family I'm looking at. Okay, Oriana, Winifred. Who else? Anyone else? This guy with 5 wives? He married so many times. Looks like Uta. Yeah. So 3. Winifred, Orla, and Uta. Only girls, though. Where was Benchy the third? She must have been his second wife. Okay, back in the side families for the Bennetts. Wybert married Juliana Dutton, and they had Wybert the second. Okay, yeah, Wybert and Juliana, they had 2 kids. Only one of them survived. Wybert then remarried to Olive, and they had 1 kid end up get married to Johnny Zest. Good for her. They didn't have any kids, though. And then Zwan and Millicent. Okay, so... Oh, okay, so what happened was... Okay, what happened was Aunt Millicent took us in, right? And then Emmeline had started her bad behavior. And in her bad behavior, she ended up getting pregnant with Milla. And Millicent didn't want her to have any problems. There's no way Travis Scott is still alive. I guess I just didn't replace his picture. I don't think I have a picture of him now, though. Let's get a quick picture of him. Travis Scott? Why are you still alive? Okay, so what I was saying was Emmeline had started her promiscuous ways. She got pregnant with Milla, and Millicent didn't want her to ruin her life, so Millicent ended up getting married to Zwan, and where's T in the alphabet? She ended up getting married to Zwan and taking care of the baby for him. Like, for them. Yeah, there's no way you would still have a picture like this. You have been long, long dead. Okay. Upload. Anyway, okay, and then they had some more kids, him and Millicent. So, Zwan and Millicent had, well, actually a lot of kids. So Galileo is one who got married, and then, oh, are Galileo and Zwan the only ones? Galileo, Zwan. Yeah, okay. Then we enter into Generation 6 with Benchy the third. I believe he was the last Benchy, actually. So, oh yeah, they did not have any kids. So, Benchy the third did not have any kids with his wife, even though she was so beautiful. And then Griffith Armstrong, who was Gilbert's older brother. Yeah, see, look how many wives Gilbert had. So yeah, Gilbert's older brother, Griffith, didn't end up having any surviving children, which is why the lordship ended up going to Griffith. So let's look up Sarah really quick. Yeah, neither of their kids survived. Yeah, here was Griffith. And then Gilbert ended up, let's just do all of Gilbert's marriages right now. Wait, why are you down here? Gilbert. Okay, well, with his first wife, not a single one of their children survived. Not with Ella. Gilbert and Ella. Not a single one. Why is this under 7 though? Shouldn't it be under 6? I think this is in the wrong spot. Let's cut this row and paste it. Stupid thing. Okay, hold on. Let me come here. Insert one row below. We'll take this row, put it here. We'll put this as a 6. And then we'll get rid of it here. Okay, so they had no surviving children. Him and Ella. Okay, what about him and Annabelle? Let's just go down this list here. Annabelle, where are you out of his like 5 wives? Oh, wait. I take it back. I know why now. Oops. How do I know why now. It's because the Armstrongs weren't in our family tree yet. So when they got added to our family tree, they got added under the generation that they were in. Like that the wives were in, because the wives were in our family tree already. So with Annabelle, it looks like they had 2 kids. Okay, so one survived to get married to Malcolm Landgrab. And the other one got married. Okay, so yeah, 2. Brianna. Okay, yeah, he married so many ladies. Oriana, it looks like Sabina, and that's it. Okay, Sabina is the only one who survived from Oriana. Okay, I think that's it for him, at least for this page. Let's go back to the Leifson family. It looks like Tomkin did not have any surviving kids. This is such a big family tree to go through. And then, okay, Saskia, I remember her. Saskia Leifson. They looks like they did not. Oh yeah, we were gonna marry Dustin and then he died. He died at war. Okay, and then in our main family, we had Cecilia. Wait, didn't we already have Cecilia? Oh, wait, Emmeline. Yeah, this is the wrong Cecilia. Hold on. Still the wrong Cecilia. Okay, Emmeline's children. Emmeline was a hot mess. Okay, so we're gonna have to figure this out. Emmeline's children with who? With Thomas Larkin. Okay, right. So Emmeline was like the mistress of the Lord, and she was able to get him to give her a husband that was like, so this is like Gilbert's like cousin, Thomas. So that's what happened there. It looks like Alexandra is the only one from actually Thomas's kids that survived. Okay, we need to go through Emmeline's kids. Okay, so Mila we already covered. This is kind of hard to navigate because I didn't do a good job of. Okay, and then she had an affair with Gilbert. Oh yeah, because she had Thomas. Wait, why is this line going like this? Serena. Oh my gosh, this is kind of confusing, you guys. Emmeline's children. Okay, here's another one of her children. So Serena got married. Remember, Serena was a knight. She was cool. We named our affair child after our husband because we're terrible like that. Okay, Serena and Thomas. Serena and Thomas. I think I might just need to look up these kids individually. So Cecilia did get married. Alexandra did get married. I remember that. She got married to a woman. Thomas, Serena, we just saw. And then, okay, Emelina. Where is she? Okay, Emelina. She had children. Okay. Gosh, Emmeline, you were such a hot mess. Okay, and then the Axtell family. Colette Axtell. Okay, so no. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's too many. Oh, okay, so this one has a star next to it, which means at the time I hadn't actually finished going through their family. Okay, so Bard, Zelda, and Elric were the only ones who had children. So Colette didn't have any children. Honora didn't have any children. Okay, so that's it for there, and we'll just put a 6 here. Okay, now we're getting into the stuff that we actually have to know about. With the Trimbolis, Maurice and Fayan, oops, no, this Maurice, they got married, and their children, Maurice the second, Etienne, okay, only those two. It's always sad to see them have a ton of children and then none of them survive. Okay, so Edme Dutton married Giles Dutton. And out of their children, okay, Olive, Ursula, Elra, and Anika. Olive, Ursula, Elra, and Anika. Okay, we're good there. Now, the Devereaux family. I thought the Devereaux family died out. What happened there? Oh, no, we talked about this. Because the Devereaux, besides the affair babies, there were other Devereaux children. So, okay, so they had one kid and she did get married. In the Dutton family, Isolde, they had 2 children and neither of them got married or had children. In the Payne family, yeah, Ella, you did great for yourself. Okay, Frost and Amelia. That she was also a Devereaux, Amelia. So Ella got married, and now we have to go buy all of Gilbert's wives in order to see the next part of this tree. Okay. Okay, and then Ella, Erica, Frost, and Guccio. Ella, Erica, Frost, Guccio. Okay, you guys are good. Then we finally married into the Landgrab family, which is really exciting. Very, very excited about that. So we had Baron Malcolm. He got married a bunch of times too. He married Winifred first. So maybe I should go to Winifred Landgrab first. So they got married and they had, okay, so Nancy and Nazetta both got married. But Malcolm had to remarry because he didn't have any sons. Meanwhile, in the Armstrong family, we had... Oh, wait, we already did Gilbert, right? Yeah, we already did Gilbert. Okay. Travis and Mila Scott. Unfortunately, neither of their children survived. I'm going to have to make a note to myself to get rid of Travis's picture now. Where did I leave my pen? Oh, here it is. Travis. Okay. Serena Bennett did not have any children. It's kind of sad to look at some of these, don't you think? This is the wrong Serena. Wait. This video is getting really long, isn't it? Where is... I know it's getting really long because my headphones keep turning off automatically because for some reason my headphones turn off if they don't They turn off if there's no sound coming into them. Doesn't matter if I'm talking into them. Just stupid, but anyway. Oh, okay, the first Odal guard, it was born, or the only Odal guard. Did I spell that wrong? That's not how you spell her name. Isn't it? I don't know, but we know she had kids. We know her. Okay, and then in the land grab family, oh, let me just fix this. 6. Okay, we're starting to get into this part. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're on row 90 of 129. Is that almost there? Okay, Isabel land grab. Okay, Euphemia is supposedly the only child that survived that. Let's see. Euphemia? Yep. Okay. Again, Malcolm Landgrab having trouble having children. And then Johnny Zest. We had a whole thing with Johnny Zest where he married our Cecilia. He was having problems with the land grabs, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Johnny got married. And that was it. Just Johnny. Sorry, Philomena. It doesn't look like you got married. Nope. Okay. Okay, and then the Axtell family. Looks like Frida was the only child and she died. Yep. We already, oh, we didn't do Gilbert the second though. Let's go find Gilbert the second. Here he is. Okay, he had 2 kids and neither of them survived. That's kind of sad. Back in our main household, we married Adelaide and we had our children. Adelaide Larkin and Thomas Larkin. So we had, in our main family, Genevieve, who was able to marry Malcolm Landgrab. And then Malcolm got married too many times. Okay. Thomas, the next Thomas, who ended up becoming a vampire. Is that it? It is. Okay, Elric and Elrud didn't have any kids. They didn't have any kids. They didn't have any kids. We already checked Gilbert. All right, Malcolm and Aelis then got married. He got married so many times. Okay. No, no, no. Okay, so Papa. Wow, really? You had some bad luck, my guy. So Benedict and Godiva both, neither of them had kids? Is that what we're saying here? Yeah. Wow. Just Papa. The Landgrabs are lucky they still have kids too. It's because he got married so many times. That's how we had Randolph, is our Genevieve married him. Okay. Wait, didn't we already go through Zetien's children? El Rosaria. Remember her? I could never get her name right. She got married to us and had a kind of a bad life because of it, but anyway. Oh yeah, Zetienne. No, no, she was the daughter. Okay. So, which of your kids got married, Zetienne? El Rosaria did. Frost did. That's it. Where'd she go? Oh, here. Maurice did not get married. I'm sorry. Okay. Then in the Axtell family. Oh, see, look, we're almost done. We're almost done. No worries. Emelina, they had Mirabelle and Bard. Mirabelle and Bard. It looks like Mirabelle got married. Bard did not. Sorry, Bard. Then in the Smith family, which was still alive, that was from our Knight daughter. So let's look up Thomasina Smith. So after Thomas had died, Serena named her kids after us. But anyway, just Emile looks like got married. Then in the Payne family, we have Raphael Payne, who did not get married. Oh, I gotta replace these 7s. Then Frost. We go to Frost. The Pains were so unlucky for so much. Frost had Osmi, and she looks like she didn't get married. Nope. Okay. Then we're almost there, you guys. Oh, it's because we had such a cut down of population after some plagues and stuff. Okay, in the Heathcliffs. Phillies. Gosh, I don't even really remember the Heathcliffs very much. Oh, yeah, Cassian took over from the Armstrongs. Right. Cassian tricked the Armstrongs into basically giving away their title to him somehow. So Felice got married, and that's it. Oh, well, you kind of deserved that, didn't you? Your son didn't get married. Okay. And then, oh, he remarried and still was unsuccessful in having children. Okay, and then is that his little brother or something? How are they related? I don't even know how to spell this name. How am I saying they're related? I didn't say how they were related, but he married Euphemia, and they didn't have any kids. I don't know why I even looked at that. Okay, and then Cassian, Cassian got married again. This guy. To, yes, okay, so, wait, wasn't that our Genevieve? Oh, and then, okay, so Genevieve spied on him to the land grabs and then was able to marry Malcolm. Okay, so Jeremiah survived only. Okay. Johnny and Jaquette. I did not have any kids. All right, we're back to Malcolm land grab. Oh my gosh. So Malcolm and Genevieve. Let's look up Martine. Looks like things didn't go well for their son. Martine did get married. Mathilda did not. And then Randolph obviously did. Because he became the next Baron. Now, back in our family, Thomas had El Rosaria and Odelgard, that jerk. We know that Tiffany got married, so we don't need to worry about that. Thomas got married. Honestly, I don't remember some of these kids, to be completely honest with you. Thomas. Which Thomas is this? Gosh. Ginevra. Okay, Ginevra is his kid, sort of. Okay, El Rosaria's children. With Thomas. And then there's also Genevieve, or Ginevra, who did get married. Okay. Ginevra, Thomas, Dante. Okay, I was going to be like, I don't remember Gregory. Francesca. That's because he died when he was young. Francesca, Madalena, and Ginevra. Okay, so almost all of our kids survived except for one. That was pretty good. He cheated on his wife. Yep. And they are still living happily together as a ghost and a vampire. Anyway, back to the Smiths. I think they died out, didn't they? They must have, because I don't think we have them currently. Yeah, Felice and Emile, none of their kids survived. Goodbye. In the Payne Papa Payne married Frost the Third. Frost 4 was their child. He didn't marry. Okay, so just Catalina. Catalina was the only one who got married. And then the Payne family was down to 1. Jeremiah and Mirabelle didn't have any kids. Okay, Frost then married Martine. And they had, okay, the Payne family had survived thus far. Helga did not. Generation 9, back in our family, we had, oh my gosh, this is so sad. We have to go through this, you guys. Okay, they all died the sweating sickness, like every single one of them. Only Mortimer survived. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let's go look at Mortimer for a second. This is our current patriarch. Dead sibling. Dead sibling. Dead sibling. Dead sibling. Dead sibling. Dead parents. Oh my gosh. Okay, Mortimer was the only one who survived that. Yep. Very sad. Randolph and Dina did get married, so let's go to Dina. She had her marriage ruined by Dante after him and Nina had a falling out. Let's see. Peregrine and Randolph both got married. Randolph and Peregrine. And then Francesca married Jay Huntington. We know that Francesca's baby did not survive. That's why she became a vampire and tried to... and then killed Jay Huntington. Good for her. Tiffany Odelgard, we know, is not having any babies. Alexander II did remarry, but is currently dead. So they are all done here. Well, they are all done. Okay, so what I'm doing is it gets a star if it's still in progress. So let's think about this hard. Catalina and Jay didn't do anything. Okay, so Dante is dead. So we know we're going to be done with his row. And all of his kids are dead, aren't they? Oh my gosh, are really all of his kids dead? Let's go look. Dante Larkin. His children. The triplets are dead. 1, 2, 3. Dead. Agnes. I see a Bridget. I see a Nesta. Bridget and Nesta both died. Where's Agnes? Here she is. She also died. All of his kids died. Poor Dante. He never liked children anyway. Ginevra got married. It looks like both of her children died. And we know that she's currently dead. So Malcolm and Madalena had Malcolm. I'm pretty sure the Payne family is over. So let's just go double check. Yeah. So they're both dead. And their kid is dead. Now, Randolph and Liberty. Liberty is dead, so this is done. Let's go check out which of their kids are alive currently. Okay, so Albert, Elaine, and Hector are still alive. And they all... Okay, well, we know Elaine is not getting married. She might have an affair baby. I'm going to leave her open in case we add a line for her affair. Are all of you going to get married? Hector, Albert... Yeah, okay, so the two boys are going to get married. So we'll leave this alone for now. We don't know yet how things are going to go. As soon as those kids get their own line, I'll either cross them off or be done with that. Anyway, Mortimer and Diana, Lucius passed away. Cassandra is still open to getting married. So is okay, so far we can't really say anything about some of the kids. So I'm just going to leave this here. And then Alexander Goth. Okay, well, they had one child and it did not survive, so they're done. Him and Constance. We literally just lost another Goth child, so right now we have Alexander III, Althea, and Letitia. Alexander III, Althea, and Letitia. Okay, and then we know that Constance is... No, Alexander is dead, so they're not going to have any more kids. But we don't know yet if all their kids are going to have babies. And then Mortimer and Siobhan, Isla, and Lionel. Okay, that is it, you guys. Woo, that was tough, huh? Oh my gosh, that was really long. So right now, Mortimer is our guy. He has all these kids with his first wife and his second wife. He was born of Thomas, who was with Cassandra. Happy marriage there, unhappy ending. Thomas, unhappy marriage because he didn't get to marry the person he wanted to marry and then made everyone's lives complicated. Up to the next Thomas, who was an affair child. But he did have a happy marriage. And then Emmeline, who was a total disaster of a person and had babies with everybody from Cecilia and Alexander, who were gone too soon, had a really nice life though. Like they were doing great until they both died unexpectedly. Nicole, whose marriage was a mess and his wife was a mess and his family was a mess. Milo, who found his true love but then lost her too soon. That was kind of sad. Agnes, who was the sole survivor of everything. Literally everyone around her died, but she made a happy life with her husband and her family. Alice, who was our starter sim and started the whole thing. So, oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, that was a really long video, but I hope you enjoyed kind of taking a little trip down memory lane, look through the family tree with me, and I had a great time. If there's anything in particular you want to see from like the family tree, or like if you want me to go over my spreadsheet or whatever, just let me know and I will do that for you. But for right now, we only have a few families, like 4, who are still in progress here to see whether or not their children have children. So very exciting. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.